O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. Tommy O'Brien coming to you live from TFNN. We pick things up and things escalating in Israel. And yeah, how about the headline? Let's just kick it off with the headline. All of Israel under fire as IDF says Iranian missile attack is ongoing. So they strike back. Tensions escalate. S&P's off by 1.1% right now. NASDAQ 100, we're off by 1.2%. We pull it up on the daily. We jump right into it on the S&Ps. And yeah, you're going to have some volume today, right? Right now, on the S&Ps, 1.75 million contracts. This is going to be the biggest volume day since April 10th, folks. Okay, we've been talking about the dramatically light volume. Okay, the 9th, which was Thursday, was the lowest volume day of the year, and we're going to get a pullback with price and volume today from the highs. And yeah, that is quite a pullback, 1.1%, and we got 52 minutes left in trading. NASDAQ 100, basically going to be the same thing by the time we get to the end of the day. It's going to be the end of the day, end of the week, and we got quite a market right now. We've already done 470,000 contracts right now, and we're pulling back right from that 22,000 price point. And when you back things up, and you talk about touching that high, okay? If you told me to best fit this high that we had back here, all the way from December 13th back to the pullback of February, I'd probably say 22,000 on the dot. And we touched 22,000 on the dot on the NASDAQ 100. S&Ps didn't quite get up to that level. Would have been about 61.48. S&P stalled out basically just on the highs that we were at on February 26th. That high, 6,023, right? The high today, 6,045, and we pull back from there. We jump to yields. Again, if you've been watching this program, this blue line's been on the chart. Where did we hit? Within a tick or two, man. 111.13 was the high, and just like that, we've pulled back to 110.20. You have yields rising again. That's given the dollar a little bit of strength. Got to tone that down, that ring going on. And even with the dollar trading up a bit, 98.18, still right near that 98 price point. And yeah, gold catching a bid today. And boy, we're making a run, baby. 34.56. And maybe this is what does it, as in gold. A safe haven right now. Jump over to crude. Pushing 73.61 right now. All right, so that is the headline escalating things. And boy, I mean, you talk about the precision strikes. War these days, my goodness, right? Have you seen the visuals? I'll pull them up later in the program. I'll try and find some good ones. I mean, it's war, okay? So it's not good. But the precision that we are able to strike, Israel just reaching people in their bedrooms in high-rise buildings in terms of amazing. The rapid pace of the Iranian retaliation stands in contrast to previous episodes. So keep your spikes up right now. The other story out there, of course, Boeing down 1.9%. You're catching a little bit of a bid. I'd be very careful of Boeing, folks. I think Boeing's got some downside risk here in a big way. And this doesn't mean they're at fault for the airplane falling out of the sky, okay? But there's a risk that it is. And even the perception that it may be right now. I mean, that's the problem of having a tarnished relationship when you're an airplane maker. This is like their juggernaut airplane. And boy, that thing just lost thrust. And is it going to be the engines? Is it going to be the plane? Is it going to be something in there? But right after takeoff, that's what happened. It just lost thrust. And yeah, I think they even have part of it in terms of the last Mayday call. But boy, how about this gentleman, right? The guy that survived. Now, here's the remarkable part. 99% of that is luck. But it's not all luck. Because of all the seats, right, where you want to sit, he was literally in row 11, which is the first row of economy, right behind the emergency exit. Okay, if you had to pick a seat that you said, and we all get on an airplane, we say, well, what are the odds that one of these seats is going to matter where you end up if it really matters, right? It for this gentleman, it mattered. Now, I doubt that he chose it for that reason, but if you're looking for a safe seat, my goodness, right? Right near the emergency exit, right behind where first class is, right by the window. You're literally the first person that can touch the door. And he wakes up, runs out of the plane, and somehow survives because, boy, it looks like a nuclear bomb goes off, man. Life is amazing, however that happens. It really is. All right, we jump around to retail. Let's talk a little bit of Michigan sentiment. So this is out this morning. American Consumer Outlook brightens in June. And yeah, University of Michigan on Friday, preliminary index 60.5, above a final reading of 52.2 in May, and the first increase in 6 months. So yeah, consumer sentiment on the rise, and that's going to be an important one. Respondents also said they expected prices to rise 5.1% over the next year, down from a previous month's reading of 6.6%. And you know what the most remarkable about this? Sometimes it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? If you're not expecting inflation, you're not going to tolerate it, you won't pay for it. If you are accepting inflation, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And if consumers are not willing to accept it, they don't think it's coming, sometimes that can be enough. That whole mentality of getting over that curb of just an inflation cycle of everyone making more, needing more, cost more, and maybe things settle a bit. In January, consumers expected 3.3% inflation for the year. Yeah, things were going a little wild when the tariffs were raging in April. All right, we jump to other retailers. Walmart and Amazon. They're getting into stablecoins. Crypto, why not, man? Corporate coins could take payment activity away from banks and traditional finance systems. Why not have your own money when you're worth trillions of dollars? Pretty remarkable, right? Walmart, Amazon, and other multinational giants have begun exploring their own stable coins. We better get our own Tiger Dollar coin, man. I think that's what's got to happen. Hey, you can see why, right? You push out your own coin, you control the currency, and yeah, you do enough business to make it worthwhile. When I'm sure there's going to be bonuses across the board, and how you keep people in your ecosystem. And there's no better way to keep people in your ecosystem than making sure you control their money supply. And yeah, how about these moves for Visa? Down by 5.2%. MasterCard down by 5% on that news. It'd be pretty wild if everybody started issuing their own money. Yeah, we have Tiger Dollars, but we haven't put it into a crypto yet. We need to formally get a security going with a real crypto. No, I don't think that one's coming down the line. But hey, why not, right? I know it should. And that's the fear that you're seeing out here from MasterCard and Visa, folks, right? Everybody saying, yeah, you know what? I'm a good business. I'm reliable. I'm going to be here in the future. Guess what? I'm going to create a stable coin. We'll be right back, folks.
If you spend any time online researching